Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to be doing my predictions for the series finale of Entourage, one of my favorite shows out there. I'll probably still fit in my TNA prediction videos, but honestly, to me, this show means more than more than anything that TNA can put out there on the market. So just gonna put this out there. I was joking around with Luke Cage. He's another big fan of Entourage, and I was gonna make this video. I think people care. It's a pretty popular show, and it's coming to an end. It all started in 2005, season one. I didn't watch it when it was on TV. I basically just I bought the DV. I didn't know much about it until Jeremy Piven won the Golden Globe, and that put a little spotlight on it on people saying how good just Jeremy Piven was in the show. And so I saw it on sale. HBO DVDs don't go on sale all that often. Well, now that DVD sales are starting to sort of slip down and die, they do. But I mean, I bought this for $20, and it came with I don't remember. They do real short seasons. There's only probably 10 or 12 episodes on this, and that is one of the highlights of this. HBO shows I really dig. I really like this. I really like The Sopranos. Sopranos does long runs, like where they do a whole season of shows. Entourage, they hit you real fast, 10 weeks in a row, 12 weeks in a row. And that's what I like. You don't get episodes, especially with them only being half-hour episodes. You don't get anything that sucks. If they have a main storyline, they make sure they hit it with that. And they don't really give you any filler. Everything that happens on that show is pretty important, and there's nothing that really doesn't matter. Sopranos, when they do those long runs, those I don't know how many they do in a season. They probably did 20 or 22 episodes like a normal TV show. But they would have an episode. They hit a point in the show, and they're like, "Well, we need to save some stuff for the finale." So you get some episodes that some stuff happened that was all right, but at the end you were like, that was sort of a waste of an hour. They didn't really do anything. That's what I liked about Entourage. They hit you hard and fast, 28-minute episodes, and they're always real good. When the season started, it was about Vince, who was an up-and-coming actor. He just made a video, or not a video, he just made a movie with Jessica Alba, and he was going from that mid-card status to, one of the main eventers of Hollywood, and he had his boys that came along with him. Everybody sort of looked like, the boys were up to no good. They were sort of just mooching on him. And, Vince was on top of the world when he had his guys with him. That was his friends. Basically that was the entourage. At the end of season one, they ended with running into Mark Wahlberg's entourage, and he has basically the same amount of guys that's with him. And you can sort of think that this is... He denied it a whole bunch when this came out. Mark Wahlberg did a whole bunch of interviews asking if this was like sort of like a story about his life, and he turned it all down. But it basically all comes down to, I don't want to give you a whole rundown on the show. I'll just say, if you think that you're going to like this show, it's funny, it's good, it's got drama, it's got a little bit of action, but it's good. I mean, and the DVDs now are pretty cheap if you buy them used. It's a good thing to jump onto. I won't lie to you, there's places online you can watch it for free if you want to. But what it all comes down to is just like on the cover of this DVD, these guys were the luckiest guys in the world. And as long as they were around each other, that's all they really needed. I think most of the show, not most of the show, but a lot of the storylines got wrapped up in the second to last episode. You had Turtle find out that he was a millionaire with the tequila company being sold because Vince just sort of gave him the money instead of selling out when he needed to. So we'll see if Turtle's really going to open Don Pepe's. If he is on his own, he's not going to need the big entourage of stars that he had, like Strahan and Teixeira. You had Amari Stoudemire. You had Alex Rodriguez. That was another thing, that the show always had a pop-up of stars if you looked around. I thought that with the last season that they did, not this season, but the last season, they sort of did it too much. They sort of killed it for me by just having too many celebrities pop up on there. But it was a pretty popular show on HBO, so I'm sure they were having to turn people down. And they didn't really do this season, except for that last episode where they have all those sports guys jump up in about a minute. And that was all right, I guess. But this season, they hit us with a lot of stuff. Also, Turtle's career, not Turtle, I apologize. Turtle just got the millionaire. But Johnny Drama, his career's taken off to a new heights. He just had that TV show in the last season that really took off on NBC. And some drama went down with that. And then basically he was fired, and he thought his career was done. But he found a way to get it back going with this Johnny Dramas. Or Johnny Bananas cartoon that's going to be hitting. I believe that's going to be on NBC as well. And that seems like it's going to be a real big hit. And then also they just signed to do Vince's CBS movie, which looks like it's going to it's going to make him a bigger star than the cartoon was. So his career is really starting to pick up, and he is doing it off his brother. But I mean, that's how Drama's got most of his work his whole career. He won't be having to live off of the Viking character anymore. so it basically comes down to there's three main storylines. I think the biggest storyline of them all is what's going on with Ari and his divorce. He just went through sort of a breakup with his girlfriend, the head of the studio, and also E is going through a big deal. He they didn't really show us the breakup. That was a big surprise. Like, what the hell? I thought maybe I'd missed something, but him and Sloane broke up when the season wasn't going, and then and she sent the ring back, and then there was all the thing about her dating the guy from Roseanne, David, and all sorts of crazy crap, and it all came down in the last episode when she said that she was pregnant. And then also you got Vince. Vince is chasing his dream girl, who writes the article on him. I believe that was for Vanity Fair. I think is who the article was for, but I think those are the three big storylines that they're going to hit us a little bit with this turtle episode, but they only have 30 minutes to nail this stuff down. I'm surprised they're not doing an hour episode for this. They've been hints about it. I remember hearing when they signed on to this last season, they were guaranteeing they signed on for a movie, but all the cast is all sort of no-selling it. Like, they don't really know that this movie is going on. I thought they filmed it with the last season, but there's been quotes by Drama's character, Dylan, or Kevin Dillon, whatever his name is, and he is saying that he hopes there's the movie, but he's not signed on for anything, and nothing's been given to him. So I don't know what goes on from here. People said that The Sopranos was going to have a movie when it came out, and it's been 3-4 years, and there's nothing going on that, man. And then I would love to see an Entourage movie, but I don't know how that would work out. 30 minutes is perfect for this show. They never did an hour episode, so I don't know how they're going to fill an hour and a half or 2 hour movie. It would seem weird to me. So they have to find a way to get this all figured out in a half hour. Basically, when it comes down to, I think that there's no way they're going to leave us on a downer note with any of these guys. These guys are the luckiest guys in the world, like I said, and basically the whole time they've been there, some little stuff has happened bad to them, but it always picks up. I mean, Vince went to jail for cocaine possession. He got knocked out by Eminem, and next thing you know, his career is right back going. I think that the drug storyline is a little bit weird. They talked about it when the season came back, and they dumped it pretty fast because I don't know any girl. This girl that he's chasing, the writer from Vanity Fair, is a pretty classy chick, and I don't know anybody who's gonna be jumping on to go out with some actor who just got put in jail for cocaine, who was going out with a porn star. Sasha Grey. It doesn't really make much sense. You don't see many classic girls falling for guys like that, but it looks like she is. I think that basically in the beginning, Vince gave his friends everything that he had. He would give them every dollar if he had to be there because they were for him when he had nothing. And we saw the pouring out of drama and Turtle to this girl to make sure that he can win him, that he can win it over. I'm pretty sure that E's gonna patch up his relationship with Sloane. They're probably going to I don't know, figure out some way to get married or something like that. But it's gonna be weird, like having to forget that you banged her stepmom and stuff like that. But E always was the main character of this show to me. He was the character that sort of kept the ball rolling. It was revolved around Vince, but the emotion that you drew off of was a lot from E because he was trying to become a real person in Hollywood. He was trying to sort of use Vince to get what he needed, and then like once he got the ball rolling, he wanted to make sure that everybody knew that he was doing this on his own, not with Vince. And so there's no way that he's gonna crumble. I think the storyline with the whole agency that he's running, it looked like they were gonna break up, but the guy fired him already. He said that he told his associate, the guy from Ready to Rumble, Scott Kahn, he said that you fire him or you find another partner, that he was going to close up shop. But I don't think there's any way they're going to close up shop anymore. I think that storyline's pretty much done. Just basically it's going to be him and Sloane sitting down and figuring out that they're better together than apart, and they just need to basically figure out what the hell they're going to do and just lock it down. I think basically I think there's going to be a part in the thing where I think Johnny Drama's going to have to give up that made-for-TV movie and give it to Vince. I think that something's going to come along where there's another bump in the road with a movie, and just basically that's what's going to jumpstart Vince's career. I know that he said that he just wanted to write this movie and give it to Johnny, and it's always been Johnny's movie. But Johnny's never really given anything big back to Vince, except for convincing that girl. And I think that he's going to go to his big brother and say, "You need this movie more than I do. I already got the big TV show," and I think that's going to be a real sort of like, I guess, gut wrenching storyline that it comes down to. But that might even end the show, is that Vince and that girl getting together, which is pretty dumb because you think if he's going to be getting some girl to go out with him, that doesn't really mean that that's the end of the show. It doesn't really mean that, when shows end, you want the end of a storyline. You want to see him get married and go off and have babies, and there's no way in the world you can do that in a half hour. But more than likely, Vince kissing that girl is going to be the end of it, or putting his arm around her with the rest of the guys there, like, hey, we got our luck again. We really won them over. But to me, the one storyline that I really want to see involves Ari. Ari was the guy that got me to watch this show basically because of his he was pretty funny. I think that the whole show basically it was revolved his storyline was revolved about his wife and his kids. He wanted to become the most powerful man in Hollywood, and he's done it. He's got the biggest agency. He gets all the stars. Nobody leaves him. He leaves them pretty much. And when it came down to is that once he reached that spot up top, he lost everything that he wanted. He lost his wife. She lost faith in him. She's got a new boyfriend, the chef at the restaurant. He lost his kids, and now that he's got everything, he's like, well, this stuff doesn't mean anything to me. I want the small things in life, and that's what matters to me. So I don't know if he can do it, but he owes Lloyd a lot. I don't think he can give Lloyd the agency because of the way that the stocks are all settled. He'll end up giving it to that old hag, whatever her name was. And he's going to promote Lloyd to the job that he asked for in the last episode, the head of the TV agency. That's what Lloyd wanted in the last one, and he threatened him with the job after he asked for it pretty much, that if he didn't get his job done. But it was about that TV movie. But I think that he's going to promote Lloyd, and he's going to go back, sort of like in Jerry Maguire. When Jerry Maguire got fired from his firm when he was a sports agent, he said that he was going to go with, becoming... The sports agent had sort of changed. It wasn't about, family. It wasn't about the doorbells anymore. It's about however many clients. It was about getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And he wanted one-on-one relationships in Jerry Maguire. And basically, he wrote it when he was sick, and then he got fired. And then he only had one of his clients that stayed with him. And that's a great movie. I don't need to tell you the whole movie about that. But basically, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think that Ari's girlfriend in the last episode said it all when she said, you need to find out what your wife wants because she hasn't cut you off completely. Once she finds out that one thing that you can give her, she'll take you back. And so I think that means that she needs a husband. That's what she's been asking for the whole time. She wants a husband. She wants a father for her kids. And I think with him sort of like taking a step back from his company, he's going to, give the keys over to Lloyd and the old hag. I think that he's going to become more of a family guy, be around more, but I think he's going to become like a one-on-one agent for Vince. I think Vince is the one that's got him. He's the only one that never left him. There was that one point when they fired Ari for a hot minute, but then they picked him right back up. But I mean, when Ari lost everything around season 2, season 3, whatever that was, and started from scratch to build his own company, Vince is the only guy that stayed with him. So I think he's going to stay with Vince. So basically, just like the cover of season 1, he's all gonna. It's all gonna come together. It's a show about being them all together. It might even end with them giving the broski high five. I don't know, but that's basically all that I think is gonna happen. Ari's gonna become the family man again. He's gonna become the agent to Vince. Turtle's gonna find out if he wants to buy that restaurant or not. If he just wants to enjoy his money. I'm sure his whole career has been based around just mooching off of Vince pretty much. He tried the rapping career and it didn't work out, and everything that he tried, the car service, they ran out of money. And now he needs to find out, if he wants to work, if he doesn't want to. He's a hard-working guy when he gets the snowball going, but just sometimes the snowball runs out of snow. But I think he will end up buying Don Pepe's and finding a way to make it grow. I think everybody in this group is going to shine big time. Vince is going to get the girl. Eric's going to get the girl. Johnny's going to give the movie away, but keep the TV show and just be the man. And that chick right there is probably going to get banged because that's the way that goes on in Entourage. But for anybody who thinks I just have season 1, I got them all up on the shelf. So don't be like, he's only got 1 season. How does he really like the show? But that's what I think. And it's going to be a great show on Sunday. Hopefully we get a movie, but it's not guaranteed. So thank you very much.